I feel very alone out there. That was the raw, startling confession from World No. 3 Alexander Zverev after a shocking first-round Wimbledon exit. For a player whose career has been defined by immense talent, yet shadowed by inconsistency, it felt like a breaking point. His response was a desperate gamble, a move that sent shockwaves through the tour. He flew to Mallorca, the cradle of a legend, to place his career in the hands of Toni Nadal, the famously merciless architect of his nephew Rafa's gladiatorial mindset. This wasn't just a coaching change. It was a last-ditch effort to rewrite his own legacy. A final stand against the two young kings who have already seized the throne he was once promised. Men's tennis is in the midst of a violent, full-scale generational realignment. For 2 decades, the sport's rhythm was dictated by the metronomic genius of Roger Federer, the relentless attrition of Rafael Nadal, and the elastic perfection of Novak Djokovic. Now, with Federer retired, Nadal fighting a body that whispers enough, and a 38-year-old Djokovic picking his spots on borrowed time. The once unbreakable axis of dominance has shattered completely. The void they left is palpable. Into that vacuum stepped Jannik Sinner, 23, and Carlos Alcaraz, 22, with an authority that feels absolute. They are not just the future, they are the now. They have consumed the tour with a terrifying hunger. With a combined 9 major titles already including Sinner's ice-cold coronation at Wimbledon and Alcaraz's back-to-back. Artistically, brilliant French Open crowns, they have rendered the rest of the field spectators to their greatness. They are redrawing the map, forcing every other player to adapt to their explosive out-court athleticism or be left behind. Hovering beneath this dazzling new skyline is the so-called lost generation, a cohort of players once forecast to be rulers, now watching the throne being remodeled before their eyes. Their narrative has drifted from next up to the bridge between eras. Their shared resume is a frustrating tapestry of near misses and heartbreaking what-ifs. We see it in Stefanos Tsitsipas's to Roland Garros final defeats, where victory seemed agonizingly close before slipping away. We see it in Daniil Medvedev's 6 Grand Slam final appearances. A testament to his skill, yet a painful reminder of his 5 losses. And most tragically, we see it in Andrei Rublev's astounding 0-10 record in Grand Slam quarterfinals. Psychological barrier that seems to grow taller with each attempt, if any one man from this group can still stage a late-career rebellion. It is Alexander Zverev. His raw data remains undeniably elite. He's the World No. 3 holds winning records against both Sinner 4-3 and Alcaraz 6-5, and possesses perhaps the most potent backhand in the game. But the numbers have always masked the nuanced, fragile second serve under pressure, and a mental game that could crumble without warning. The partnership with Toni Nadal, a man who rarely agrees to coach established non-family stars, stunned insiders. This is the ultimate test of substance versus style. The promise of their union is tantalizingly clear. Toni's philosophy is famously simple but merciless: shrink the ego, sharpen the habits, drill discipline like muscle memory, and learn to suffer. For Zverev, whose career has often felt like an expensive sports car with a temperamental steering column, this is exactly the medicine prescribed. The million-dollar question is whether Zverev, at 28, can truly surrender his old patterns and yield control to the master strategist. Meanwhile, his contemporaries confront their own crossroads. Daniil Medvedev, the cerebral and maddeningly unique 2021 U.S. Open champion, seems to have lost the formula. He admitted he'd swap any ranking for another slam after a season marred by 3 first-round slam exits. His brand of rope-a-dope counterpunching remains a complex puzzle, but the tour's best are beginning to solve it. Stefanos Tsitsipas has quietly slipped to No. 9, his beautiful one-handed backhand, still a work of art. But his lingering elbow issues have robbed his serve of its authority. Taylor Fritz, the American No. 1. He's cracked the top 5 but remains winless against the new duo in 2025. The gulf in speed and creative improvisation glaring under the bright lights. While the elder millennials tread water, Car-Nik, the Alcaraz Sinner axis are pushing the sport into a new dimension. Their rivalry is a promoter's dream. It holds shades of Borg-McEnroe's contrast in style and personality, and Djokovic-Nadal's raw athletic attrition, but delivered in TikTok-friendly highlight bursts. Alcaraz counters with preternatural court sense, one moment returning serve from the back fence, the next charging the net behind an impossibly soft drop shot. Sinner offers seismic power from the baseline, his newly honed slice and improved first serve making him lethal on all surfaces. Their last 5 matches have been brutal, tactical masterclasses averaging nearly 4 hours, each a statement of their dominance. All eyes now turn to Toronto's National Bank Open, the season's first major hardcourt tournament and the unofficial dress rehearsal for the U.S. Open. The stakes are immense for everyone. For Zverev, it is a live, high-stakes audition to prove that Toni Nadal experiment is substance, not just optics. For Medvedev, it's a return to his favorite surface, a chance to rediscover his swagger. For Tsitsipas, Fritz, and Rublev, it is a desperate shot at relevance. And for Alcaraz and Sinner, simply business as usual. Another stage to deepen their gravitational pull on the entire sport. Should Zverev successfully marry his ballistic firepower with Toni's mental scaffolding, the men's game gains an immediate and legitimate third pillar. The Italian-Spanish duopoly would suddenly face not a middle-aged Djokovic encore, but an authentic peer, hungry to rewrite his own legacy. But greatness demands more than sporadic brilliance. It requires the week-in, week-out relentlessness that defined the Big Three. This transitional moment asks every player born between 1995 and 1999 a hard, existential question. Are you satisfied being the connector, or will you fight to be the conqueror? If Toronto and New York produce another Alcaraz Sinner coronation, the answer may be delivered for them. But if Zverev disrupts the script, the new era becomes far richer. For him, the next 6 weeks will reveal if Mallorca was the dawn of a renaissance or simply another interlude on a career soundtrack still searching for its defining crescendo.